Greetings, everyone. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I hope everyone is doing great. And I just want to welcome you to our Wellness Wednesday book club where we are reading my book, Think, Learn, and Feel Rich. And I am coming to you live from Phoenix. I hope that the sound is okay. I'm out of town, but I did not want to miss book club. So let me know where you are joining me from in the chat, and I just want to welcome you in. If you're new here, and I just want to say welcome. I'm Mia James, your financial wellness coach, and I love to educate people around finance. And my specialty happens to be tax-free retirement, cash value life insurance, and guaranteed lifetime income. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics in my book from chapter 9. I can't believe we only have 2 more weeks left, y'all. We are on chapter 9 today. So we are on chapter 9 in my book, and we're talking about work optional lifestyle planning. Work optional lifestyle planning. You might be like, what is work optional lifestyle planning? That means that you have decided you are going to stop trading time for money. Okay, that's what we're talking about today. Anybody want to stop trading time for money? Let me know. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Jen. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. If you are new here, let me know in the chat where you are joining me from. I know we got North Carolina in the house. We got Cali in the house. I'm going to California tonight. I cannot wait. And I'm here in Phoenix. I'm so happy because it's warm. I don't have on a coat. I don't need a coat. It's so amazing. So let's jump in and get started. Again, please, as I always say, please like, subscribe, and share. And then at the end, I have a couple of announcements that I want to share for some upcoming events. So let us jump in. Awesome, awesome. Hey there. Oh, that's Denise. Welcome, Denise. All right, so we're on chapter 9. Not to worry if you don't have the book, but I do have an announcement. If you go to, let me make a banner real quick. I didn't even think about that. Because Beyond the Busyness, which is my company, we are turning 8 this month. We are turning 8. And if you go to thinklearnandfeelrich.com and you put in the code year 8, so YEAR 8, I'll put it in the chat, you can get a discount on the book. It is just $20 for the month. And I will be actually doing a special donation for all book sales during the month of February. So yeah, I know, Natasha, you do need some of this West Coast weather. I am thriving over here. I'm like, hello, I am here. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud because people are coming for dinner. So let's jump in before the sun goes down and it gets a little wild out here. All right, so we're on chapter 9. We're talking about work optional lifestyle planning, also known as retirement. Thank you, Jen. Yes. Thank you, Natasha. It is year 8, y'all. Year 8. So my official birthday for my business is February 14th, which is my favorite holiday, Valentine's Day. All right. So hopefully the volume is okay. It was like nobody out here. Okay. So here we go. So the first thing I want you to do is let me know in the chat if you know what your retirement number is. How much money do you want to have available to live off of when you stop trading time for money? If put a 1 in the chat if you already know, like, yep, this is my goal. This is where I'm trying to go. Put a 1 in the chat for me. Let me know. Thank you, Natasha. Okay, so I'm just going to read a little excerpt here because for those of you who are in P1 community, you already know that we have a retirement crisis in our country. People are just not saving enough. And if you're like me, you were taught 401k, 403b, whatever, right? And there's no tax diversification strategy in that. The employer is the one that gets the tax benefit. And then when you get ready to withdraw your money, you know, you got to get and pay the taxes. And who knows what the tax bracket is going to be by the time you retire. So thank you, Denise. So I say all that to say that people are just not saving enough. And right now, I know when I wrote the book, the average 65-year-old had about $200,000 saved. So let me know in the chat, how many years can you all live off of $200,000? Let me know in the chat. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, maybe 5 years. Let me know how many years you can possibly live off of 200 grand. And then Do y'all know what the average amount of time someone lives in retirement is? Let me know in the chat. So, two questions. The first question is, how many years can you live on $200,000? And the second question is, how long are people living in retirement? Okay, that's a valid point, Natasha. Yeah, right. Very valid point. Okay, so I'll give you the answer. So let's say right now you spend about 50 grand a year. If you have $200,000 saved, that means you can live off of 200,000 for 4 years. And right now, the national average is that people are living up to 20 plus years in retirement. So if you multiply 20 times 50,000, you do the math. Okay. So, and guess what? Like Natasha said, the cost of living is going up. So in many instances, we need more than what we have now. We're going to talk about a calculation later. Let's keep going. If you, I know you all have started planning, but let's just say you share this live with somebody who hasn't, and they want to know, well, when should I start? Because I talk to a lot of 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and they think, oh, they have time. No, you don't. Because you lose out on compound interest. And for those of us that I know you all know what that is. But basically, your money, let's just say you put $100 in the bank, you have an interest rate of 5%. That means that you, at the end of that year, your account is now worth $105. But then now you have 105, then you earn another 5%, right? So it compounds like that. So if you're not taking advantage of compound interest, you're actually leaving money on the table by waiting, because compound interest takes affect your time. Yes, this is a good point right here. Too much money for most people's money. Exactly. So the longer that you wait to start, that's the more money that you're going to have to save. So the sooner you start, the less money you have to put in to get to your goal. So I'm going to share with you all the rule of 72. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen, okay? Because this is not Zoom. So Lord knows that this is going to be an experiment, but nonetheless, we're going to try it. I know I've done it once. So. Here we go. All right, so I think I got it. I'm going to move on that. And I'm going to share. Okay. Looks like you can see it. I hope. Okay, so this is the rule of 72 right here. So what this means is that just take the number 72, and then you're going to divide it by whatever interest rate that your current account has. So let's say you have a high yield savings account and you earn 4%. Well, if you keep your money in that account, it'll take 18 years for your money to double. Let's say you have other assets that you have a higher interest rate, then it'll take your money. If you have a 6% interest rate, you have 12%. All the way up 14 years, it's faster. Basically, the higher the interest rate is and interest rate, then the faster. So this is why if you want to start immediately, so you can take advantage of your money, basically doubling as fast as it possibly can. So this is like a basic money rules 101. But I always like to just share basics because sometimes we gotta go back to the basics. Okay, so hopefully you all were able to see that. Okay. Okay, Natasha, I love it. So Natasha said she needs some big money because yeah, exactly. I definitely know I need to have way more than I have now. Yep. That's why I need to be here live because the chat is so funny. I absolutely love it. So the next thing I just want to go over in the book is asking yourself, are you ready to invest? So I know you all here are ready to invest, but for my folks who are not. So let me know in the chat, what are some ways that you all knew you were ready to invest? Let me know in the chat because I know you all are already investors that are here live. So for those of you who are not, I'm not giving you any investment advice. This is more for you to check your mindset to know if you're ready to invest or not. So the first thing I would say to consider is your risk tolerance. What does that mean? Your risk tolerance, I'm just going to read it here. It says, if you're like me, you don't like losing money. However, with investing, the greater the risk, the higher the reward. Ultimately, you have to do what's best for you and feel confident in your decisions. So I look at it like this. You're either like ultra conservative, where you got your money at the house under your mattress, or you're like ultra risky, where you're in Vegas and you're like, put it all on black. Like, where do you fall in that range? In my book, there's a QR code on that page, and you can scan the QR code and take a free risk tolerance assessment. You can see where you fall in that range. The second thing is, can you afford to lose the money? Never invest money that you need to live off of. Period, point blank. That's easy. However, waiting costs you money. So I don't care if you do $5 a month, $5 a day, $10 a week, just do something. So the next thing here, number 3, we're on the next page. Can you be involved to some extent and not just let somebody else do it for you? So before I did my live, and essentially there were some ladies giving their testimony, and they were talking about this lady. She was already doing really well, but she went to this male advisor, and he was like, oh, that's not a good idea what you're doing. Now, had she followed her intuition and continued on the path she was on, her money would have doubled. But she allowed somebody to speak into her life that didn't have her best interest at heart, and essentially talk her out of doing what was working for her. So it's important that even if you don't manage your own assets, that you at least have an understanding of what you have, why you have it, and if it's working the way you need it to be working. So that's important. Yeah, exactly. Natasha, listen, we got to pay for this. Natasha is already. This is what we gonna be doing. Oh my God. Okay, and then the last thing to consider, and also, Natasha says, you are active in the chat. How did you know you were ready to invest? I want to know. And Denise and Jen, I want to know, how did y'all know y'all was ready to invest? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. The last thing I recommend, if you have an employer, to start with your employer, especially if they have a 401k match, because that's free money. So go ahead and get that free money. So we're moving pretty quickly here. Because I gotta go to the airport, y'all. I'm living on the edge over here. Here's what I want you to do. This is your life work. So if you have the book, there is a chart in here called Retirement Savings Plan Goals. Okay, so if you want to just jot this down, if you don't have it. And the sun is going down. Hold on, let me get my glass. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. All right. These make things better. Here we go. Okay. So if you don't have the book, what you're going to do is you're going to write down first your monthly expenses. So the example in the book is someone who spends $5,000 a month on expenses. That is equivalent to $60,000 a year. So $5,000 a month in expenses times 12 is equivalent to 60 grand a year. So write that down on a piece of paper. What are your monthly expenses? You probably know that off the top of your head. Big deal. Multiply your monthly expenses times 12. Then, so in this example, we said 60 grand for a person who spends 5,000 a month. Then you're going to multiply your yearly expenses times 3%. Does anybody know why we multiply? Anybody? Let me know in the chat. Why do we need to multiply by 3%? I think it must be delayed. It takes a while for me to see what the chat. I'm sorry. Oh, is it too loud? I'm so sorry. Like, I promise y'all, it was no people out here like trying to go by. But you know what? I'm going to move. I'm so sorry about that. I was like, oh my God, I had like there was nobody, y'all. I promise. And then it like 20 people. I was like, you gotta be kidding me right now. Hopefully this will be better. You know, you just gotta pivot. Okay. Is that better with the noise, Natasha? And these AirPods, I'm very disappointed in them because they're new and they don't block noise. Totally unacceptable. All right. So let's keep on going on our how we're gonna calculate our retirement number. So Natasha, you have a big number. Okay. So we didn't finish talking about why do you multiply by 3%. The reason why you multiply by 3% is because of inflation. Okay. So you're gonna take that 60,000 multiplied by 3% to $1,800. So then you add 60,000 plus 1,800, that's 61,800. Okay. Then you're gonna multiply that 61,800 times 20 years. Why? Because people are living on average 20 years in retirement. And so you get $1,236,000. Okay. So that is a rough estimate of potentially your work optional lifestyle goal. Any questions about that? Because I know I went kind of fast, but if you have the book, it's all spelled out in the book. Okay. Also on page 27 of the book, if you scan the QR code, you'll get a full workbook that has this document in it, and you can just do it on your computer, and it's easy. Okay. So how many people have their new retirement number now? Anybody? Let me know in the chat if you're able to do your calculation. Let me know. Let me know. All right. So, as I told you, the other thing I do, this is not in the book, as I do guarantee lifetime income. So if you are someone who has an old 401k, you left it behind at a job and you do not know what to do with it, maybe it is not performing the way you need it to perform, that's definitely something my team and I can assist you with and get it actually making money, because that's the key that you needed to do. Or if you're ready to start taking income and you want to set up your own pension plan, I help people set up their own pension plans because pensions are far and few in between. There's ways that you can actually set up your own, and that's what I do all the time. So if you need help with that, you can scan the QR code in the upper. I don't know if it's on the left side for you all, but it's on the left side for me. So there's a QR code that you can scan, and I can help you out with that. So this is our second to last week on my book. I can't believe 10 weeks has passed that quickly. And our next book is going to be What Would the Rockefellers Do? So that's what we'll be doing next. So write that down. I'll put it in the chat. And does anybody have any questions? In the chat for us. That's our next book coming up. Okay. And then next week, we're going to talk about estate planning. But I have a couple of announcements before we head on out for today. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate it. Get the word out. We need more people to be educated. Yes, awesome, Natasha. Yes, I found out about it from our so Natasha and I and Jen and some other folks are in a study group together. So that's how I found out about the book. And people ask me about estate planning all the time and how it goes together with life insurance. So I will use that book as a way to engage that conversation. Also on the 12th of February at 7 p.m. Eastern. I love you, Natasha. You are hilarious. This is our next book. At 7 o'clock Eastern, which is 4 o'clock Pacific and 6 o'clock Central, I will be co-hosting an event on basically how to create guaranteed lifetime income. And then on the 13th, which is a Friday at noon Eastern, I am going to be doing a big reveal on a special project that I'm setting up where the proceeds from book sales are going to go. Okay. So if you want to find out more information about that, all you have to do is be on the list, the text list, which is here, and you will get updates and invitations to these things. So save those dates and times. So that's the 12th at 7 Eastern. We're going to be talking about guaranteed lifetime income. Okay, how to get it, how to create your own pension. And on the 13th, I'm going to be doing a big reveal on where the proceeds from the book are going. So don't forget, we have a special on the book this month. And you can use the coupon code year8, and you can go to this website and grab your copy. You can give them away as gifts. If you do order it directly from me, I do sign them. So that's something that I do for anyone who orders through me. Amazon is good too. That works. But that's what happens if you do it through me. So, with that being said, I know we are going to end a little bit early today because I have to run to the airport. Okay. And it's also getting dark out here. So, I hope that this was helpful for you to at least start thinking about what retirement number am I working towards. And obviously, if you have passive income, you don't necessarily have to have that amount just sitting. But I do want us to start thinking like, okay, realistically, if I live 20 or 30 years, because some people are going to retire early, 20, 30, 40 years of retirement, then I need to have 20, 30, 40 years of money or some type of passive stream to supplement what you saved and invested, especially if you want to leave behind a legacy and not use all the money. So I hope this was helpful. And thank you all for coming tonight. I so appreciate it. I know hopefully people are okay out there. I know normally we have a lot more folks, but I am so thankful for those of you who did make it out tonight. And hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye. Thank you, Natasha.